Hello and welcome to the Lyman Wolf podcast. I am your host, Raceland, and I'm joined today by my co-host. What's going on, dude?
Not much. Looking forward to a 5-day weekend.
Oh, heck yeah. For those of you that don't know, we have a long weekend because of the 4th of July. Here in America, it's a big holiday that everybody gets off usually.
Yes, they do.
And and our work is gracious enough to let us have 3 days off for it.
Yep.
So, on today's episode, I wanted to talk about our dream vacation. We don't usually talk about real world places and stuff like that on this podcast. We normally stick to, anime and video games and TV shows and stuff like that. But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to talk about real places in the world that we've either never visited or we visited and want to go back to, stuff like that. And Nate, how often do you go on vacation?
Never. I'm not a vacation guy.
So this podcast must have been hard for you to pick places.
Yeah, I mean, there are places I've always wanted to visit, but, it's more of a dream big kind of thing.
I understand. Yeah, for me, I don't ever go on vacation either. And it's not because I don't want to go on vacation thing. It's because I don't have money to go on vacation. Obviously, vacations cost a lot of money, and I've got a family and kids and stuff, so it's very hard for me to go on vacation. Last year, I went to Chicago, which is not very far from where we live, and that was like hundreds of dollars because of all the stuff I had to spend money on. So yeah, it's hard for us to go on vacation over here.
Also, to clarify, not all of my picks are real world locations. When we talked, we also discussed we could also use video game worlds.
Right.
If we wish.
So I was going to bring that up, is that for me personally, I have a list full of real places, and I figured we'd knock out the real places first, and then we'd do video games afterwards.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of people that commented and stuff on our Facebook and Twitter and stuff, which I'm going to get to in a second. They want to hear probably about the real world places, because that's what they're wanting to tune in for. And then we talk about the video game places for people that are interested.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I posted don't forget to post your dream vacation for the upcoming podcast. And I actually had a bunch of comments. So I'm going to get to some of the comments right now, actually. Eric commented, "The beaches of Hawaii with a surfboard by my side."
Okay.
We also had Caitlin also comment she wants to go to Hawaii as well.
Yeah, Hawaii is definitely a great place to pick. I personally don't know how to surf, but I would definitely love to learn to surf. Because if you're going on vacation, do something you normally wouldn't do.
Right. I've always thought Hawaii would be a cool place to visit. I don't want to live there. My dad used to live there, and he said it was fine until it was just filled with tourists.
Yeah.
But I would love to visit and be one of those tourists.
I can pretty much live anywhere as long as I have an internet connection.
Right.
So
Right.
I just don't leave my home ever.
Yeah, that makes sense. We also had another comment from Jackie. She said, "Iceland, the blue lagoon looks so beautiful."
Okay. I know near nothing about Iceland, so I would like to go there. I have heard it's very beautiful.
I always thought it was interesting that Iceland, named Iceland, is supposed to be all green and flourish and lush, but Greenland is all cold and icy. That doesn't make any sense.
Tactics and strategy. Keep people from wanting your land. Name it Iceland.
Iceland, yeah, it's so cold here, guys. Don't come here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard Iceland is very beautiful, and it would be interesting to go there. I don't know anything about it, like you said. I don't know what's out there, what kind of touristy stuff is out there, what to do there, but I've heard it's beautiful.
I'm a very boring tourist. I pretty much, if I can hike or just see the environment, I'll be fine. Pretty much anywhere.
We have another person, Linda, who also said Iceland not Iceland. She said Ireland and Scotland.
Okay, yeah. Two great places. One of them is actually on my list. So.
Oh, we'll get to that. Yeah. Then we have another comment from Sandy who said Paris. No place like it. So I'm guessing she's been to Paris before and would like to go back.
So I actively would avoid cities because I'm not a big fan of people.
That makes sense.
And Paris is a very big tourist attraction city.
Yeah.
So it's just double the people. No.
I personally have never had any interest in going to France in general, like at all. And Paris, the obvious thing is the Eiffel Tower is the draw. I'm not interested in a big tower. You know what I mean?
Like, I think that would be if I were to go, that would be my thing. Is I would want. Are you allowed to go up the Eiffel Tower? I wonder.
I don't know.
If you're able to go up the Eiffel Tower, then that would be my draw. Is I would like to climb the Eiffel Tower, just because I like climbing.
You mean like actually climbing, or you like just like take an elevator to the top?
I mean, I prefer steps because I am afraid of elevators. But
you're afraid of elevators? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they're like death traps. You get on and you're just hanging like.
Have you seen too many movies, Nate?
Probably when I was a kid. But the idea of an elevator just freaks me out a little. I'm a lot better than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I would I'd hold my breath when I'd get onto an elevator or something just to like.
That's so funny.
But now I can manage it better. But yeah.
You know what always kind of made me nervous as a little kid? You remember those commercials where it was like an escalator where like the little girl or something got her like shoelace caught in there and like it started like sucking her in?
Yeah.
Dude, that used to like kind of freak me out a little bit, like escalators. So I was like, maybe I'm gonna take a big step over this end of the escalator.
There's a Kevin Smith movie, Mallrats, where
I heard about that. I've never seen it.
One of the main characters like sees a kid playing at an escalator, and he's like, "I hope he gets sucked into it, so his mom can feel the pain." Like, damn.
Jesus. Do you ever see that Final Destination movie where the person got killed by being swallowed by an escalator?
No, because I think I watched the first Final Destination, and I was like, "Nope, that's it. I don't need more fear in my life as is."
We got one more comment. The last one is from Tammy, and she says, I have wanted to visit Australia all of my life. Hopefully I'll get there someday.
Yeah, Australia, I would love to go for the heat. And
heat. God, you're so weird.
I love heat. What can I say?
Dude, I'm the opposite. I hate being hot.
Yeah, a lot of people do. But yeah, I would actually like to go to Australia because I'd like to see the wilderness. Love the heat, and it's one of the few places where I wouldn't mind seeing cities and stuff because they have some pretty cool architecture there as well.
Nate, I've always said this for years. I look at Australia as everything in Australia wants to kill you. All the animals out there are just wanting to kill you. That's all it is. There are monster animals out there. Everything's poisonous. Everything's venomous. Everything's massively giant. Like, they have these giant spiders that are the size of, like, a television. Just crawling on the side of your house. No, thank you. I don't want that.
To be fair, that's a lot of the wildlife around here, too.
I know, but it's prevalent in Australia, and I don't want that.
We're just, I think, bigger than Australia. So we're more spread out.
Yeah, it's just no thank you. Like the main thing I'd want to see in Australia is I'd want to visit Steve Irwin, or I guess Robert Irwin Zoo now. Like, that would be cool. Going to the Irwin Zoo, that'd be awesome. I don't even know if that's what it's called, but I just know it as Steve Irwin Zoo.
Oh, we're just slightly bigger than Australia.
But yeah. Okay. Australia is another place that I have absolutely no interest in going to. No thank you.
Man, that heat though.
Dude, so the ideal temperature for me personally is between, for all those Americans out there, 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but 50 to 60 degrees, that is the perfect temperature to me.
70, 80 for me.
70. See, once you get to the 80s, then I'm dying. When
we hit 100, it's more relaxation.
No, it's misery. That's swamp ass territory, dude. It's 100 right now, and I want to die. I feel like I walk out the doors at work, Nate, and I feel like that heat just hits me right in the face, and I feel like I'm now walking on the surface of the sun, and I'm just boiling alive, and I want to die.
It's sauna. It's nice.
That's
It's
not a
relaxing.
sauna. That's literal death. It looks like somebody took a flamethrower and aimed it right at my face as I opened the door and just pulled the trigger.
I mean, get good.
No, that's not a get good situation. That's a it's too damn hot situation.
It feels perfect to me.
When that nice cool breeze hits my face, when it's like 50 degrees, I'm like, yeah, that's great. Nice
See?
to cool me off.
It helps you enjoy the little things in life.
All right, so why don't we dive into where we want to visit, where we want to vacation to? Why don't you go ahead and start for us?
All right. So my first place, like I said earlier, it was Ireland.
Okay. What
and
makes you want to
it's just-
visit Ireland?
So, like I said earlier, I'm very simple. I kind of just would love to walk around the countryside, seeing the sights and whatnot. There is a specific Airbnb location that I would want to stay, though.
Okay.
It's a tree house on a cliff.
Now, real quick, Nate, are you Irish at all?
A bit Irish and a bit Scottish.
Okay, so that makes sense. I didn't know maybe this was like I want to visit my family heritage kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I would be, but I don't really know anything about my Irish, like where they specifically come from in Ireland. So it's not like I'd be visiting my ancestral home or anything.
Okay.
I would be, like I said, there's a specific place I want to go, and it's a tree house on a cliff.
A treehouse. That sounds so dangerous, honestly.
So it's not like exactly on the cliff. It's like the cliff is like maybe 50 feet away from the treehouse itself. And they have a porch with a part of the porch being a net kind of thing, like a trampoline style, where you can just kind of relax like a hammock, just overlooking this cliff, and it looks real beautiful. And I would love to see like the sunset and the sunrise.
It sounds so not me.
It just sounds like a great relaxation spot.
So you would be different. I'm like, I want to be inside. I want to go visit all these touristy places. And you're like, I just want to be alone, hanging off a cliff on a hammock, watching the sunset. And I'm like, wow, I would enjoy that for 5 minutes and get very bored.
I'd probably doze off and just relax.
We're going to have very different picks.
Possibly. Well, I think I have like one other that is more of an outsidey thing than that. But other than that, everything else is pretty much like specific inside or outside adventure type kind of stuff.
I forgot to ask, is your list going to be like ranked in order, or are these just random?
Just random.
Okay, because I got mine in kind of an order of like, this is the place I want to visit the most and the least, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is just all places I want to go. No specific order or anything.
So is there anything else about Ireland that you'd want to see besides your little treehouse?
No, not really. Like I said, I just kind of want to walk the countryside and explore. Go on a walkabout.
I mean, I'm not opposed to going to Ireland. Like I said, I just don't know much about it.
Yeah.
I feel like if I did some research, I'd be like, whoa, Ireland looks pretty sick. What was Ireland or New Zealand? Was that where they shot the Lord of the Rings? Which one was it?
New Zealand.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was Ireland or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be cool to go to Ireland. I think that'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else about Ireland?
Nope. That's it. Where is your first location?
My first location, like I said, mine are kind of like ranked a little bit. So this is number 4 for me. Is India.
Okay. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. I would go obviously very touristy stuff. The kind of the main thing is I would like to visit the Taj Mahal, one of the 7 wonders of the world, kind of see what it's all about. Yeah. India's a beautiful country full of interesting culture. I don't know that much about Indian culture, but I'd be very interested in learning it. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. Like, I don't know how to explain it very well. It's just that kind of culture fascinates me, and India is supposed to be a really cool, like touristy, beautiful place.
Yeah.
It would be. I would want to see all like the temples and visit the city of Mumbai. I think that would be really cool. India's full of a lot of history, which would be very interesting to me, especially the temples. I want to see all the cool history in the temples.
The only thing that I could see that would draw me there is the heat.
Oh god, see that's one of the negatives though. Is it's like basically a giant desert, and that is a big no for me. But other than that, for the most part, everything else sounds really cool.
For the history, it's worth.
Right, that's it. I do like history. I'm not a history buff. I wouldn't go out like say, oh man, I'm all about history. But like I'm interested in, especially different cultures that I'm not used to. Here in America, we're accustomed to a certain type of lifestyle. I would like to go outside of that lifestyle and see other cultures.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I don't have much to say about India other than that looks like a nice place to visit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much my Ireland reason.
So, other than that, what would be your draw to India besides the heat? Would there anything in India that you could think of that would be like, oh, that'd be interesting to see?
Like I said, there's a lot of people, and that's a massive drawback for me.
That's true.
Like,
there's only a few.
Oh yeah. I guess maybe the food, like.
Oh yeah, authentic Indian food.
Yeah.
Although Indian food is very spicy usually, lots of curry and lots of hot sauce and spices and stuff.
They got that flavor.
It makes me. You know, I just thought of. Have you like Gabriel Iglesias, right?
Yeah.
He had a stand-up special where he talked about going to India, and apparently he was saying in India, the traffic is crazy. Like not bad crazy, not like it's really crazy like here, but it's that nobody ever stops moving. The only time anybody ever stops moving, he said, is if there's a cow, because it's sacred to India. Yeah. And they said, like, you could see somebody get hit, fall over on the side of the road, and they'll just drive around them like, I'm sorry, I hope you have a good time, and they just keep the traffic flowing. They don't stop for anything except for a cow. They'll start off the engine and sit there until the cow crosses the road. So
what you're saying is I need to take a cow with me in order to travel in India.
I guess. Take like a little baby calf to India with you.
Backpack it around.
That's funny. But no.
Strength training.
What I was mainly getting at is that you better be a damn good driver to be visiting India, Nate.
I mean, I'm a good driver. But I'm a nervous driver, which is one of the reasons why I don't like cities and stuff.
Oh, it's nothing but cities there.
I'm just going to be walking a lot.
That makes sense. So yeah, that's my first pick is India. What is your next pick, Nate?
My next pick is actually New Zealand.
Oh wow, that's kind of funny. I didn't think that was going to be your pick.
A very specific tourism package actually. Okay. Called the Halflings Ramble.
So it's the Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah, it's a 7-day trip from Auckland to Wellington, exploring the Hobbiton movie set, and I'm probably going to butcher this. The Waitomo Caves.
You know, I actually almost put New Zealand on my list because of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Well, I've wanted to explore New Zealand just like the actual place. Like I want to. Kind of like how I want to kind of walk around Ireland. I want to do that with New Zealand as well because it's a very beautiful location that has a different biomes and all that.
Yeah.
But this one because we had talked and got me thinking like, okay, maybe I need to add some actual touristy things.
This is definitely a touristy thing.
Yeah, I added this bit for the podcast itself because I would like to see the Hobbiton movie set.
But so cool, man.
It is not my main draw to New Zealand.
Can you imagine? I know it's just us nerds talking here, but can you imagine walking through like Frodo's home this is where Gandalf did his speech to Frodo about being, having to go on an adventure and all that. Like I don't know, that stuff's so cool to me.
It is cool, and I would like to see it. Not gonna lie, if I had like my friends and everything, I would be dressing up.
Oh,
like
hell yeah,
cosplay. Lord of the Rings, and then
who are you dressing up as?
I'd be doing my own character, Raceland. Always my own character.
OG character.
Yeah.
I would dress up as a hobbit, for sure.
They had their adventure. I'm going to have mine.
You just made me think of something I forgot to mention at the top of the podcast. We are going into this podcast with like money is no option. If you're going to this place, everything's paid for. So you don't have to worry about saving up and spending and stuff. That's how I took it.
And you're able to bring anybody you want.
Right. I don't recommend bringing like an entire bus full of people, but you know, I was thinking like your family or some friends or something like that.
Yeah. Like a handful of people.
Right.
That's
but yeah, the main thing is, I totally forgot to say that, is that there is no money cap here. You just have everything paid for.
Yeah.
So yeah, New Zealand sounds great. I do want to visit. Like I said, I almost put it on my list, mostly because of the Lord of the Rings thing. Would you try to do a meet and greet, Nate, with the Viva La Dirt League people?
No.
Oh, come on, man.
I guess I would like to see if I could. I would want to go to the park that they always do their NPC.
Yeah, go to the set, man.
But like, I don't want to interrupt them.
If you guys, any listeners don't know who we're talking about, there's a channel called Viva La Dirt League on YouTube, and it is a nerd, style skit videos and stuff. Go check them out.
Yeah. I have no real desire to meet celebrities that I like or anything.
Oh, I do.
Because they're normal people, and I don't want to like meet them. They say something, I'll be like, oh, yeah, to be that kind of person. Okay.
Yeah. I thought you were cool, man.
Yeah, like let them do what they do for me, which is entertain me in my life.
I get that.
So I wouldn't mind seeing the set and everything, but meeting the people, while might be cool, I don't want to take the chance that they're assholes.
Nate, what if you walk on set and he goes, hello, adventurer.
Now that would be actually kind of sick. But yeah, there's another thing in New Zealand that I didn't put on my list, but it kind of stuck in my mind. I'm not sure I would do it. Okay. Because I'm kind of a scaredy cat when it comes to dangerous things.
Okay.
But there is, it's shark skiing.
Shark skiing?
Yeah.
Like you stand on a shark and you ski on the shark?
No, it's... They have, a little submersible boat kind of thing in the shape of a shark.
Oh.
And the cockpit is, where the head is. And it goes super fast. You can dive down, and then when you go up, you can literally clear the water like you're a fucking dolphin jumping out of the water.
That's awesome.
And land. Yeah. It looked really cool. I just don't know if I would be brave enough to do it because in my head I'm already imagining so many scenarios going wrong.
Nate, you said shark skiing, and I thought Aquaman coming out of the ocean riding on a pair of sharks. Yeah!
Right? I don't even know if it's called shark skiing. I know shark was in the title, and it just reminds me of a jet ski. So that's the reason I'm calling it shark skiing. But yeah, it looked really cool. And if I were to go, I'm sure that some in my group would want to do it. I don't know if I would be brave to do it.
Nate, I would do it with you, buddy.
Well, I think it's you have the driver in the front seat, because it's kind of like how fighter jets have one seat and then a second seat right behind them.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that. So you have the driver that's doing all of these really cool stunts and everything with the boat, and then you're in the back seat just experiencing it all.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be doing it with me; you'd be watching me die.
Hey, yeah. Thinking of dangerous things, I just thought of something. Would you ever be open to skydiving?
No.
I actually had the opportunity to go skydiving when I was a teenager, and I got chickened out, and I didn't do it. Yeah, my grandparents literally bought me a pass to go skydiving. All I had to do is go through the training and stuff, and I chickened out, and I didn't do it, and I regret it so much. Right, now I have a family and all that. Yeah. I'm not risking anything now that I'm a dad and everything. But as a teenager, I should have did it, man. I regret it so much.
Life's too short for regrets. But what I'm about to say right now goes against my later picks.
Okay.
I am terrified of man-made heights.
Okay.
I can climb a tree. I can stand on a cliff and overlook a cliff.
Nate, didn't you pick the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah,
did you-
that's what I'm saying. Like this does go against it. I would be terrified of climbing the Eiffel Tower, but I would still want to because I love climbing so much.
That's so funny.
I
I never would have pictured you a climbing guy, by the way.
I used to love, like, when I actually went out into the world instead of just living in my home constantly and become a hermit. I used to climb all the time. Like when our amusement park, Six Flags, had the rock wall, I loved climbing that thing.
That makes sense.
If I could afford we have a place near us that has like a entire wall that is a rock wall. I would, with different challenging sets, I would love to go there. I don't have the means to pay for it though.
So you're saying you'd be cool with the rock wall at Six Flags, but you wouldn't be okay with something like the Batman.
Probably. That's the roller coaster, right?
Yeah, but it's man-made.
Yeah.
That's why I said
Yeah.
that.
I would get on it, but I would not be enjoying myself very much.
Everybody else is like, woohoo, this is great. You're just like clenching, white knuckling, like,
So-
is it over? Is it over? Is it over?
We went to Silver Dollar City when I was in high school, and my friends convinced me to go on to a really small, like, roller coaster. It was like a baby roller coaster, and I was cussing the whole damn time.
Get me off this goddamn thing!
Yeah, and it was really embarrassing because there was this mom and her little girl right behind me.
Oh, Nate, come on, man.
Look, when fear takes over, you don't give a shit about what you're saying. And my friends are just laughing away. Not
would be
because of
laughing
the ride, but because of me. They're laughing at me
Oh, it's
and
so
the
funny.
reaction that other people are having to what I'm going through. And I'm like, F you guys. Like that, nah.
You
So,
scarred
yeah.
that little girl for life, Nate.
No, that little girl probably learned a few words, but she wasn't scarred. She was having the time of her life, probably.
That's so funny.
So yeah, I can get on man-made heights. I'm just not fun doing it, or unless I can like convince myself to forget that I'm there.
That's so funny.
So yeah, that would be my second pick, New Zealand.
I'm sorry. We just went all the way, like in a giant circle.
Yeah, we just went a massive tangent on my fears.
I know. It's so funny. Thank you for opening up, Nate.
Yeah, you're welcome. What's your second pick?
My next pick is the most basic bitch touristy place of all time, and that is London, England.
Okay, is that really?
I mean, everything that I'm about to say is the tourist tropes for visiting London.
I mean, my
it's-
next picks are going to be the exact same.
It's
So.
like, I want to see the Big Ben, I want to see the Tower of London, the Buckingham Palace, the British Museum. Those are all like the go-to touristy locations in London. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want the Shanghai Noon London Nights tour.
You mean the Shanghai Nights?
Yeah, but people may not realize that Shanghai Nights is that movie. That's why,
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
I like the
Good.
history of the country, so I like to visit like the historical landmarks too. Like I said earlier, I do like history, so seeing London is full of a lot of like very old buildings. I think that'd be really cool to see.
Go and hang off the Big Ben.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm sure that's super legal there.
Yeah,
You should also mess with the Imperial Guards. I'm sure they love that.
yeah, pick their nose and everything.
Yeah. They're not gonna attack you at all.
Yeah. To be fair, you are going on tourism as an American, and you are going to be hated anyway. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's about almost any place that's not in America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think London would be very cool. I like the culture. I'd say the same thing about India. I like the culture. I like the
I mean, I said the same thing for New Zealand and Ireland. I want to walk around. Yay.
I want to see the culture and the places and the landmarks.
Yeah.
But no, London's one of those places. It's like it's always been on my bucket list of like one day I'll get there. One day. I mean, London's not too far fetched of a thing. It's not too far from North America. It could happen. You know what I mean?
Quick airplane ride away.
Yeah, it's only gonna be like
Or-
12 hours or something.
Go the scenic route and take a boat.
Take a boat.
Cruise ship.
Yeah, it take months to get there. Thank you. I want to do that.
That's the rich ways doing it.
No,
And you
that's the
said
stupid way.
This is no there's no money contest. You'd have
Okay.
a great scenic route.
There's a difference between having the money to do something like that and then being bored out of my mind waiting for that. I don't want to be trapped on a boat for like a month.
You'd be on a cruise ship. There's things to do on cruise ships.
There
nowadays.
is. You're right.
Cruise ships are mini amusement parks, practically.
Yeah, and then after a while, you do the same. You do like nonstop fun things like that for a month straight. You'll get tired of it.
Then you retreat to your room and play Fortnite for a bit. Then go back out and enjoy the amusement park.
Do they got good
It's the
Wi-Fi on
cycle.
cruise ships now?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know, but yeah, I want to visit London. I think London would be really cool. Do you have any ambition to go to London, Nate?
Not really. Like, I can't think of anything I'd really want to see.
You don't want to see the clock tower and see Big Ben
No.
and all that?
No, I'd actually probably prefer to go to Canada so I can try poutine.
Do not gonna lie,
Rather
I
than London.
literally almost put Canada on my list as an honorable mention
Yeah.
because Canada, I like the temperature of Canada, Nate.
I don't. Like, that's the drawback for me.
But yeah, there's a lot of things in Canada I've always wanted to, like, mostly food wise, I want to try,
Same.
and I would like to see like some of the can't you see the northern stars from or northern sky? I mean, from Canada.
Northern Lights?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm not sure if you can see. I know
it's in
mean,
Alaska.
yeah, so I suppose if you go far enough north in Canada, you should be able to.
Yeah, I'm sure we have a Canadian friend we could ask.
Yeah.
But no,
Who
Canada
also
would be cool.
travels a lot, so.
Yeah, but yeah, London is my third pick for where I want to go because I don't know, I want to go to London. It'd be cool to see things.
Okay. That's
What
a good
is
one.
your next pick, Nate?
So I only have 2 more real world locations.
Me too. I only got 2 more.
And bringing it a little bit closer to home,
Okay,
I would want to go to Universal Studios
where's that at?
in California, I believe.
Okay, I thought you were gonna take my place.
Yeah, no. It is the the main reason I would want to go there is for the Wizarding World exhibit.
I agree. That. Continue, Nate. I'm just sorry. Continue. My next pick. You're getting crossovers.
Yeah, like if I did my research correctly, which is not always 100% sure.
Oh, the commenters will let you know.
The Diagon Alley is the one that is at Universal in California,
Okay.
and I would love to visit Oleander's wand shop and get my own wand.
That's pretty awesome, dude. That sounds so fun.
And they have 2 types of wands. They have the regular wand that you can like take home and it's your specific wand. And then you have the wands that interact with the amusement park itself.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. That is so cool.
Kind of like the wands you can buy to like react to your TV and stuff. I
didn't know that was a thing either. That's so cool.
So yeah, that is what I would want. I would want one of each, obviously, because money's not an issue in this case.
So you're mainly going to California just for Universal Studios.
Yes.
You don't have any ambition to go anywhere else in California.
Not that I can think of, no.
California is one of the most touristy places in America, and you're just like, nope, that's the one location. That's it.
I mean, I've already been to California, and
You've been to California? When did that happen?
yeah, I went to an anime expo there one time.
Oh, I am so insanely jealous right now.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong, but I was a very little kid
Oh,
when it happened.
That's not experiencing that.
I was well, okay. I say look, I was like maybe 12 or 13, I think.
You should remember that well.
No, I do remember it. I'm saying that because of my age, there wasn't much for me to be able to do.
Can you imagine going to it now?
Yeah, I would have probably a lot more fun because I understand a lot more of what I would be seeing. Like there's whole aisles there that I wasn't able to go in because it was higher rating age than for me I was allowed to do.
Nate, but all those people, it's a freaking anime expo.
Also, well, that's the thing. There wasn't a lot of people like dressed up in cosplay or anything. It was mainly just a lot of people dressed up regularly, waiting in line to go in.
It's not how it is nowadays.
And so it was me and my family that went. My dad is the one that went to the expo with me, while my mom went with my cousins and their friends to like I think the beach or to Disney or something. And I just remember my dad, me and him just kind of sitting on the floor in line waiting for it to slowly move forward. I bought a build your own Gundam model
That's funny.
and a couple of manga that one of them I think I had to have my dad buy because it was age restricted for me.
What were you buying, Nate? What kind of stuff are you buying?
They are actually a lot more strict. So
really?
like a little bit of fan service is considered higher.
Okay, that
age.
makes sense. I get you.
So like it wasn't anything like oh my gosh, it was just like a little bit of fan service, and they're on the cover like yep, nope, that's age restricted. But when I actually read it, there was almost little to no fan service. It was all battle.
Makes sense.
So yeah, it was a fun time, but as I think I would enjoy it more as an adult.
That makes sense. I agree with that. I've always wanted to visit like Comic-Con. I've always wanted to go to something like that.
Yeah. Plus, yeah, I would like if it was a no expense thing, then I would definitely be dressing up. I'd be building up a cosplay outfit and everything.
Nate, isn't California also have Disneyland?
Yes, I think that's where my mom and cousins and their friends
And you-
went while me and dad went to the expo.
You have no interest in that?
I mean, I would want to go, but I mean, a lot of we'll see.
Oh my god. So other than Universal Studios, is there anything else in California you'd want to visit?
No, I can't think of anything.
You don't want to go visit Hollywood and see all the actors and stuff?
Again, I don't really want to meet celebrities.
Meet The Rock or something?
I guess while we were in there, we did go to the sidewalk that had all the stars on it.
Oh, yes. Isn't that in Hollywood also?
I don't remember. Like I said, I was pretty young. After we went to the expo, I was pretty much done with the vacation. I was like, I have done what I wanted to do. Y'all do what you want and just drag me along.
Does California have that famous like celebrity wax museum?
Probably.
I think so. I think it does.
I know we met some very interesting people on the side on the boardwalk of stars or whatever.
When you say interesting, do you mean like bad or?
No, people like dressed up and everything.
Oh, okay.
Like I think we met a Superman. We met some dude who was his own character. That was probably my first introduction to like demon BDSM gear.
Okay.
Yeah, the dude was like had thigh-high leather boots with giant leather wings and a leather corset. I was like, this guy looks really demonic, but a very unique clothing style.
And your mom's like, let's just go.
Yeah. Well, no, my mom was like, okay, yeah, he's pretty cool. Because you're talking about a person who, my mom's very cool in that regard because she had me watch like Rocky Horror Picture Show when I was a kid.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So this was not phasing us. We all thought it was cool. I think we even took some pictures with him.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was a really cool thing. I said if I was a little bit older, I'd probably understand a lot more.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, anything else about California?
No, not that I can think of anyway.
All right. Well, that moves on to my number 2 slot, and that's kind of ironic that you said keep it close to home because that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I choose Florida.
Okay.
I actually have family down in Florida. That's a big pull of why I want to go down there. My grandma, who is actually my great, is it just one great? It's my grandma's grandma, or my grandma's mom. So great grandma.
So great grandmother.
Yeah. She is 98 years old, living down there in Florida.
Wow. Yeah, you add one great for every like after grandmother.
Okay. So yeah, my great grandmother is 98, living out in Florida, and I've only met her twice in my entire life. Once I've been to Florida twice. Once when I was 8, and once when I was 12, and I don't really remember much of it, because you were talking about how you went down there when you were 12, and you remember a lot of it when you went to California. I went to Florida when I was 8 years old, and I actually went to Disney World and I remember almost none of it.
Wow.
So that's a huge bummer.
I've never been to Disney World, but I have been to Florida. We stayed at a hotel on a beach, and it was the first time I had seen the ocean.
One of the memories I have actually of Disney World is I remember because it scared the crap out of me. That's why it's stuck in my brain. I have no idea what kind of ride it was. I'm guessing it was some kind of like alien invader kind of ride. It was one of those rides
Space Mountain, maybe?
What is it?
Space Mountain, maybe?
Probably. It probably was, honestly. But it's one of those interactive rides. So like this was.
I don't know if it's interactive.
Well, this was when I was 8, so this must have been in the 90s, like late 90s.
Yeah.
And it was one of those like you see an alien. It was on the stage, and it was like, oh no, the alien escaped. And like you see like glass break, and then you see like the shadowy figure go off, and we can't see it anymore. And it's like, oh no, it's in the crowd. And they would have like those like little blowers that like blew air on your legs to make it feel like, oh, the alien crossed behind your legs. And you know had a little like little flap that would like tickle the back of your feet and stuff and freak you out. Yeah. Dude, I'm 8 years old. I start crying. It freaked me the hell out to the point where my mom had to like escort me out of the ride. I was terrified, and that stuck with me. What?
I would have found that cool. That would have been amazing for me.
Oh, see, it scared the absolute shit out of me as a kid, and that is one of the memories. That's the only memory I have of freaking Disney World was being terrified.
The happiest place on earth, and you're just terrifying.
Dude, it scared the crap out of me. And then I also remember my mom bought me like this Aladdin genie, like the genie lamp, and it would like flip open, and it would be a nightlight, and it said Disney World on the side. Those are the only two memories I have of Disney World. Are terrified and gift shop.
Huh. So what would you want to experience now?
Okay, so Disney World, obviously, as an adult, is way different now than it was in the 90s. You got Star Wars, you got Marvel stuff, you got I'm way more grown up and I know all about Disney stuff now, all the Disney rides and all that. Disney World, I gotta go visit Disney World, especially for all the Marvel stuff. Oh my god, I want to go to Disney World for that. I would spend days at Disney World because you gotta do one day at this section, one day at that section, one day at that section. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So,
Disney World sounds awesome now. Take my kids.
I had a friend since high school, actually, that her and her family would go to Disney World every year.
Okay.
And she would always tell me about the fun and all the fun things she would do there, and I'm like, so for years I've always wanted to go to Disney World and just experience just being there. So yeah, I could definitely agree with this one.
What would you want to see the most? Would it be the Star Wars stuff, the Disney stuff, or the Marvel stuff?
So this is actually the last real place on my list.
It's
Disney
Florida?
World. Disney World, Florida, yeah.
Oh, we'll just combine it then.
Yeah, and specifically for me was to go and build a lightsaber.
Oh, that totally makes sense. You're a way bigger... So people don't know, Nate is a much bigger Star Wars fan than I am, and this completely tracks of him wanting to build his own lightsaber.
Plus, I like collecting swords and whatnot. From a very young age, I'd collect sticks that I'd pretend were swords, and so being able to go to Disney World and build my own lightsaber is just almost a dream come true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the main reason. But then I'd also like to go to the Epcot Center.
Yeah. I think all the Marvel stuff would be so sick, though.
Yeah, there's pretty much just a lot of stuff there. Plus, being able to see the characters that walk around and all that, interact with them.
Dude,
it'd
so
really
many cool kids. And I think my eldest son, he's 7. I think he would really have fun.
Yeah. I feel like almost any kid would.
Right.
Now.
Unless you're with me at 8 years old getting terrified.
Yeah. Well, just don't take him to the interactive...
the Space Mountain thing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So Florida... Disney World's only one out of 9 places I'd want to visit, by the way. Florida is my most expensive place on my list. Because I'm going to be going to so many tourist locations here?
I cannot think of anything other than Disney World.
Oh, I can. So, I've told you before, alligators are my favorite animal, right?
Yes.
They have a place called Gatorland. It is a alligator theme park.
Where they feed their
Tourists.
tourists to gators.
No, it's everything has to do with gators. There's tons of gators there. You can go, take boat rides. I think it's near the Everglades, which I've actually been to the Everglades. Have you ever been to the Everglades?
No.
The Everglades was awesome. That's what made me start loving alligators. My mom and dad took me to the Everglades when I was 8. The same year I went with Disney World, and I got to go to the swamps, and I got to take one of those airboats, one of the boats with the giant fans on the back, and I get to swim or get to ride through the Everglades and see all the alligators, and they're all snapping away and stuff. And I'm like, these are the coolest animals I've ever seen. And that's what made me love alligators so much. So this is a Gatorland. This is a fully fledged alligator theme park. That sounds awesome.
I always called them water skippers.
Water skippers. I've never heard that. I've heard them called swamp puppies.
Yeah. No, not alligators.
Oh.
Boats.
The boats?
Boat. Yeah, I always call them water skippers because the fan makes them skip across the water.
That's true. That makes sense. I'm like, what does a water skipper have to do with an alligator?
No, that's the highly mutated alligator due to pollution. It just skips across the water now.
The next place I have is specifically this beach is the Siesta. I think it's saying it right. Siesta Beach.
Okay.
It's a soft white quartz sand. It's supposed to be one of the most softest, cleanest beaches in Florida.
See, I wonder if that's the beach we went. I don't remember what beach we went to when I was a kid.
Was it white sand?
Yes.
Oh, then it was probably this beach then. It's a very touristy beach.
I remember that the hotel we stayed at was literally like one step away from the beach itself.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was really awesome. We cut the vacation short, but still had fun. So, yeah. I guess that probably is the beach then.
Yeah.
I'd have to ask my folks what that beach was.
The next place it's ironic that you said California, because I have on my list Universal Studios in Orlando.
Okay.
And it's for the same reason as the one in California. I thought the Universal Studios in Orlando is supposed to be bigger, isn't it?
Possibly.
Because when I hear Universal Studios, most of the time people talk about Orlando.
I usually think of the one in California. But, so I wonder if the Orlando one is the one that has the Hogwarts version of the Wizarding World.
It does, because I was doing research and they have a Hogwarts school there.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was the big... See, I'd rather visit Hogwarts than Diagon Alley.
Not. I want my wand, man.
I mean, Diagon Alley is great. That sounds super fun, don't get me wrong. But this is Hogwarts.
I'm sure you can get a wand probably in Orlando still.
But it's probably one of those, you go to the gift shop and buy a wand. You don't get to create a wand and stuff.
I don't know if you get to create a wand there, but I think you can, they have more specialized, picks you can pick from.
Yeah. Hashtag Team Slytherin.
Ravenclaw, all the way.
So, yeah, Universal Studios, mostly I want to do it for the Harry Potter stuff.
Now, if they have a sorting hat, that might be cool.
That would be sick. Then I have the Miami Sea Aquarium, which I've actually been to as a kid when I went to Florida. Okay. Got to see Shamu. That was pretty cool. Go visit that.
I have no interest whatsoever to go to an aquarium.
Oh, you are out of your mind. I think my son would love it. So my eldest son, he loves sea creatures. So I think he would absolutely love this.
If it was an aquarium / water park, I'd be more interested because I like water parks.
Well, the next one on my list is SeaWorld in Orlando.
Yeah. Okay.
So I visited the aquarium as a kid. I've never been to SeaWorld. So also nowadays SeaWorld is kind of getting a lot of flack for all the stuff that happened with its animals.
Yeah.
But highly I recommend our Miami Sea Aquarium, Nate. That place was so fun. I got 2 more places in Florida I'd want to visit, and that is the Mall of Millenia. It's one of the world's biggest malls in America. So just go shopping. And then the last place is Legoland at the Florida Resort.
Okay. See, I had forgotten all about Legoland. I would agree with that. It's a good one.
Yeah, again, my 7-year-old would absolutely freaking love that, and
I would love that. I love Legos.
I do too. I would have fun as well. So yeah, that is my Florida adventure. Like I said, it's probably the most expensive place on my list.
Understandable.
So yep. Your final one was Disney World, right?
Yes.
Crap. So I have to talk about my number one spot, huh?
That was my last real world location.
All right. I guess you want me to just jump into my last one?
Yep. Go ahead.
My number one spot I've always wanted to visit in my life is Japan.
Okay.
I feel like you knew this was coming.
Not really.
Really?
Like I know
I've talked
I know
about
you've
it
talked about
so
it.
much.
I know you've talked about it, but
Japan looks amazing, and I've heard nothing but positive things about visiting Japan.
yeah.
One of the biggest cities I want to visit in Japan is Akihabara.
Okay.
Do you know what Akihabara is, Nate?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, there's tons of electronics and anime shops everywhere. It's like an anime fan's like wet dream is to go to Akihabara.
Yeah. The only thing is I'm not sure if they would have anything in English, considering it's Japan still.
No,
So-
so I know somebody, one of my podcasts I listen to. Two of the members went to Japan recently, and they said you could not speak a lick of Japanese. There's English everywhere in Japan.
Yeah.
They like half the people speak English there. English is on almost all of their signs and stuff. Also,
Okay. Well, I guess okay. So that means they probably have like English translated manga and everything in the stores and whatnot.
oh, I don't know about all that, but
That's why I would be.
Oh, I thought you
considering
meant the
going
people
Akihabara.
and stuff.
No, again, I would be avoiding people.
That's true.
And I'm more curious about the manga and Akihabara that I would want to be looking and reading.
I'm sure they have English stuff. Like I said, Japan is a very, very popular American touristy location.
It would make sense.
Yeah. I'm also, again, interested in the culture. Japanese culture is very rich in like history, going decades and decades and decades and decades back.
Centuries.
Centuries, that's what I meant. Centuries back. Like, you could go from modern Japanese and then all the way to, like, samurais and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting to just visit all, like, the Japanese, like, temples and stuff and the shrines and stuff like that.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
The Japanese cuisine, I think, would be interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of seafood, but if I'm in Japan, I'm trying the Japanese cuisine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No matter where you go, you're going to want to try local cuisine.
And it also doesn't help that anime just makes Japanese food look so damn good. I gotta try it.
True.
Like, I gotta have the anime trope of trying the rice jelly rolls, the rice ball rolls, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I gotta try that with like wrapped in seaweed and stuff.
Yeah, the things that get turned into jelly donuts.
Yeah,
when
that's
it's
it.
Censored for some strange reason.
Yeah. And then I would want to visit Okinawa. It's a great place for snorkeling and diving to experience the ocean life around Japan.
Okay.
But you have to visit Japan in cherry blossom season because the cherry blossoms are apparently absolutely beautiful in Japan around that time.
Yeah.
So yes, that is the main reason I want to visit Japan. It is anime fans' dream to go there. For
That's
you, I don't
solid
think
pick.
you'd be able to handle how crazy Tokyo is, Nate.
No, a lot of people.
There's an insane amount of people in Tokyo.
Yes. I would probably be able to handle it if I was with a group, which on all of these I'm taking a group of people. So I would be able to handle it if I had like a group of people with me.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my number one spot. I'd love to visit Japan, Akihabara especially. And yeah, that's my number one spot.
That I would say it's a very solid pick.
Cool.
I would go with you.
All right. We're going on an adventure, Nate.
Yes. Let's hope it's not a misadventure.
Oh yeah, one thing you should know is I've been told that if you finish all the food on your plate, it's actually an insult to Japanese culture. So leave a little bit off the side.
If you finish all of it?
Yeah, yeah. So
I thought it was if you don't finish all of it.
no, if I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I was told that if you leave a little bit left, it shows that you are satisfied with your meal. You're so full that you can't eat anymore. But if you eat it all clean, then it looks like, oh, you didn't have enough food to eat.
Anime has been teaching us wrong all along. Then,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Every anime protagonist is disrespectful. They clear their plates and upon plates.
Of course they are. But again, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure that's how the culture is.
I would look into that one because that doesn't sound right to me. I think that it sounds the opposite of what I've heard.
Okay. So speaking of video games and all that stuff and anime and stuff, let's dive into our video game worlds.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
No, you can go first.
Okay.
You have 5?
Yes, 5
Jeez,
worlds.
Man.
So the first one is the World of Warcraft world.
Okay.
Azeroth.
Now, what would you do as a vacation in World of Warcraft?
So again, this is before we get into it, when we discussed the video game portion of this, we decided that we would be going in with the abilities of a protag, but not the responsibilities of the protag. So you'd have the powers and all that you would need to survive in this world.
Of the main character.
Fully powered main character, not like level 1 crap. But
you're going in with rags.
Yeah, and still all expense paid. So you're going into this world as New Game Plus with everything, and you still have the main character out there saving the world. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay. And what are you going to do in the World of Warcraft world?
In the World of Warcraft world, I would want us to go on an adventure.
Okay, so just classic adventure stuff.
Yes, this is my LARPing situation. You, me, a couple of our other friends, a couple of family members, we're all going in, picking our classes, gaining the full capabilities of those classes, the top gear, armor, transmogged how we want, and we are going to look however we want.
Nate, it's crazy you picked Vampire Lord. That's so strange.
Yeah, no. So, funny you should say that. There is a literal werewolf race in World of Warcraft you can pick called the Worgen.
Oh, I wonder what you're picking.
So you get your human form and your werewolf form that you can look into. It'd be cool.
All right, we're not going to dive into the lore of World of Warcraft right now.
Yeah. So I would go there because I have played World of Warcraft since the beginning, honestly. I only recently stopped playing due to personal reasons.
Understandable.
And I've always wanted to just meet the characters in it. I've always wanted to see the places that I've made so many memories with friends in that world.
Understandable.
So, and I would absolutely love to meet the Bronze Dragonflight, the Dragonflight of Time.
Okay.
They basically are like the guardians of time and protect the timelines, and also the way that you can explore like different timelines and stuff. So it's basically the multiverse of World of Warcraft. So we would be able to go to different timelines and stuff and just see different styles. It just an overall massive adventure full of magic, fun for me. Probably some heartache because we might get attached to people who die. Yeah, but yeah, it just overall, I think it would be a fun adventure for all of us.
Okay, I agree. I'm always down for fantasy stuff.
Yes, and that is my first fictional video game world.
You got any other ones that are kind of shorter descriptions?
Yeah, actually.
All right, go ahead and do the next one. Since you got 5, I only got 3.
Oh, okay. No Man's Sky. Basically,
that doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
Yeah, basically, I just want
explain real quick. Give a short description of what it is.
No Man's Sky is a spacefaring video game where you get to create your own, buy your own spaceship and explore the vast expanse of space. It truly is a massive game full of, like, I can't even count the number of planets you can visit, though a lot of them are empty. But
if I remember right, isn't it just mainly just explore? That's it.
yeah, it just explore, and that's what I would want us to do. We would explore, get our ship, form our crew, and explore. So yeah, this is my like very basic bitch space exploration for the crew.
Oh, don't worry, my number one spot is a basic bitch one as well.
Yeah. So that I have 3 more. Do you want me to continue, or do you want to go into one of yours?
I'll go into one of mine.
Okay.
So my number 3 is Assassin's Creed. Now, I know I've mentioned this in our Best Video Game Places to Live podcast, but I want to reiterate how perfect this would be for a vacation. You can go into the Animus and basically go to any time period you want and experience it. If you want to see the sights from any time in history, you can do that. Like, it's the perfect vacation destination.
Brought to you by Abstergo.
You don't even need to be an assassin. You could literally just explore the world. Like, because they've changed it in the video game world. They've changed it where you don't need to be tied to your ancestors. You could literally just visit anyone's history. Yeah. So if I want to just be like, I want to go visit this time period and just walk around and check out the world. Boom, done. You don't even need to be an assassin for it.
And just imagine how easy it is now for historians in that world.
Oh my god.
Like, historians don't have to argue about, oh yeah, this, no. You just go into that time.
Oh, actually, Jesus Christ was this kind of person? He did this? Oh yeah, let's just go to the dawn of time and find out. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like, historians are practically out of a job.
That's so true, though. Yeah, didn't you know that Leonardo da Vinci was a giant douchebag? No, he was a brilliant man. Let's go back and find out. All right, let's go.
Yeah, bet.
So yeah, Assassin's Creed is out of all of the video games I can personally think of, like if you're a history freak, this is the ideal vacation location. So yeah, that's my number 3. It's just Assassin's Creed because it's just the perfect history anything.
Yeah. That's understandable. I could agree with that one.
Okay, so what's your next one?
All right, so the next one is the Star Wars universe.
Is that a video game world? Come on, Nate.
Yes, because I'm talking about like the Old Republic.
Okay, be specific.
Okay, but Star Wars is still part of a video game universe.
My next pick has over 16 games in it, and I'm choosing a specific location in one.
Okay, I'm talking about the universe though. Like we're going to become like Jedis in the Star Wars universe.
That's kind of
again. We're going in this as the protagonists of, or with the abilities of the protagonist.
I'm just saying, it's kind of like saying, I picked the Marvel Universe, even though every Marvel game has a different timeline.
I mean, yeah, but also every timeline in the Marvel Universe is a part of the multiverse. So you're basically just stating you're going into the multiverse of Marvel.
Yeah, but the Star Wars doesn't really have a multiverse.
You're right, because they're all connected outside of, them saying some things are not canon anymore.
Anyways, explain the Star Wars thing.
Basically the same thing as the No Man's Sky. We're all going to be spacefaring characters, but we're all being Jedi as well. We're all getting to create real lightsabers, not just the fake ones we can get at Disney World, but real lightsabers in our own specialized style. We have the skills to wield them. We have force powers.
Hashtag Sith life.
We are... if you're going to go Sith, bro.
I'm just kidding.
This vacation just took a very dark turn.
Join me.
Yeah.
Do it.
Darth Idius over here.
So I'm guessing you're going to have dual lightsabers. One's going to be silver and the other one's going to be gray.
No, they're both silver.
I didn't know, maybe like do shades of gray.
Well, yeah. So with the Old Republic on MMO, there are like a crap ton of colored lightsabers you can get. I'm going to stick with silver though. I like silver. They're the coolest of the lightsaber colors in my opinion. Is it though? It is to me.
I mean, you have green and pink right there.
Yes, and you can have those. Those are perfectly for you. You could have a double-bladed lightsaber with green and pink coming out. So
maybe I should make a Kylo Ren's lightsaber to get the little like things on the ends to make it look like a medieval sword for the knight.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but I always called it like the primal lightsaber.
I always called it as that looks stupid as hell because you're gonna cut your hand off lightsaber.
Not if you use the Force properly, buddy. You can use the Force to straight up deflect a lightsaber.
They made it and freaking heal people now with the Force.
Healing part of the Force has always been a thing. Actually,
I've never seen. Anyways,
yeah, it's always been in video games. So, yeah, Star Wars universe is my next pick.
Dumb.
What is yours?
So this is one I said was specific. I picked Final Fantasy 15. I think it's called EOS. It's EOS. I guess EOS is how you would say that.
Yes, and of course you had to be specific. Every Final Fantasy is a different universe.
Shut up,
Every
Nate.
Star Wars is still the same Star Wars universe.
So we go in as the pro tag with no pro tag responsibilities because in Final Fantasy 15 you have to save the world, and I don't want to do that. So this one is I get to travel with my buddies across a fairly unexplored, beautiful land. Like just hey, guys, get in the back of the car and let's go explore this
This is
unexplored land.
Road trip.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and sure there are demons and monsters and stuff, but if I get the weapons and abilities and powers of the main characters, there should be no problem. We'll be fine. Let's go hunt some monsters, Nate, and go back in the car and check out the food.
I have not played 15, but I'd be down for it.
I mean, 15 is kind of like all the other. It's not like all the others. It's very different, but it's a Final Fantasy game. You're gonna have monsters and crap trying to kill you.
Like ability wise.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know what powers I'd.
Well, one of the main draws of the main character Noctis is he has the power of the kings, so he can summon like the king's powers and the king's weapons and stuff, and he can also teleport.
Right. Like, well, these three all have
distance.
That power then.
No, the main character has that power.
Yeah, and I'm
the main character. You could be one of my buddies.
You're not. No, we're all going into the world with the powers of the pro tag.
You could be
being selfish.
You could be Gladio. You could be my right hand man with the giant long sword.
Trying to change the parameters of the rules.
You could be my chef, Ignis. You can be the guy who just cooks food.
I will straight up poison your food if you.
Nate, he has dual wielding daggers.
I don't. So what? I can still use different weapons. Stop trying to take powers
You're gonna poison my food.
You're gonna make me your chef, really?
I mean, in the game, spoilers, that he does kind of lose his sight. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
you're gonna become blind, Nate.
No, we are all getting the powers of the pro tag since we're not the pro tag.
I mostly want to do it because it's a really beautiful world, and like I said, in the game, a lot of it's unexplored. Most of it is like there are camps and cities here and there, but it's mostly open wilderness. So I would just be going around defeating monsters, taking parts, inventory, building up my arsenal, just kind of having a good time.
Okay, yeah, I could agree with that.
And you can upgrade your car in the game to be able to be like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. style, where it's like a Back to the Future style car, just starts flying, and you can just jet power fly around the world.
I've always wanted to go on a road trip with friends, so yeah, I'd be down with this one. I would say this is a good pick.
All right, well, there we go. I got the Nate stamp of approval.
Only because I've always wanted to go on a road trip with friends. So.
All right, so what's your next pick, man? How many more you got? Because I only got one more.
I've got two more.
All right.
So my next one is Star Trek universe.
Again, what video games?
It's a video game.
What video games are Star Trek? Oh my god!
Is that an MMO? Yes, they have an MMO called Star Trek Online where you create your character, you become the captain of your own ship.
You're really towing that line, Nate.
How is that towing a line?
I don't know. I was thinking legit like games, not just this is a game based on something.
I'm sorry you decided that games based on things aren't actual games for some reason.
No. I was thinking you would go outside of the box and think of like, I want to go to this specific franchise's game, not just be like, I'm going to go to the Marvel universe because there's some Marvel games, and I'm going to go to the Star Wars universe because there's some Star Wars games.
I mean, why wouldn't I want to
I'm
go to Star
picking
Wars or Star Trek?
specific video game franchises, and you're like, nah, I'm picking ones that are generic as fuck.
You're the one said you were going to have trouble picking video game worlds.
And I ended up picking 3 ones I enjoy that are specific games.
Okay, I'm sorry you're not happy with my picks, Rayson. You don't have to come with me in my Star Trek universe.
I'm not saying I'm not
Don't
happy with
worry.
your picks.
You're not invited anymore.
Oh,
it's okay. You can go to your
okay.
little road trip while I'm cruising around space on a spaceship.
Okay, all right. What about Star Trek that is kind of a video game? What would you want to do?
All right. So, in Star Trek, we've basically created a utopia in humanity. We have, like, there are obviously dark undertones once you get into government and politics, but the basic civilians and whatnot are living a pretty great life because it's a utopia. We no longer need money. We have the holodeck, so you can go pretty much anywhere you want, virtual reality style. And the place I would want to go to is Risa, the pleasure planet. It is the place to go for any vacation in Star Trek.
Okay.
If ever anybody is like, oh, you're getting like 2 months of leave, where you going? Risa, immediately. Because it has biomes it has every single biome. So if you want to go on an adventure, you can go on an adventure that goes across any biome. It has resorts. It has pretty much everything you would want for a vacation. That is why I would go to Star Trek.
I guess. I mean, it's a video game. I guess.
I have always wanted to go to Risa, Raceland. And yes, it is a video game. Star Trek Online.
Okay.
And there's also other Star Trek games.
I'll accept this one, alright, Nate? I'll accept it.
Only because you want to go to Risa now.
No, because I don't want to argue. That's all.
Oh, okay. That's a first. So what's your last pick? You said
My
you
number
wanted
one
one?
vacation video game. Have you
Okay.
ever heard? It's a game I guarantee you've never heard of. But have you ever heard of a game called Abzu?
Nope, never heard of it.
ABZU.
So
is
now
it-
we're creating games. That's what
No,
it is. Okay.
this is an indie game. This is a real game. Came out in like 20, I want to say like 19 or something like that. It
Okay.
is a game where it's kind of like No Man's Sky, but instead of space, it's the ocean. You are exploring the ocean depths,
So Subnautica.
but different and better because it don't have to deal with all the stress of surviving the game. Because Subnautica is a survival game. Abzu is an exploration game.
I typed in Abzu, and the very first thing I see is a shark attacking the player.
Listen,
You don't have any stress, huh?
one of the perks of this game is that the player literally cannot die in this game. It is
Okay.
only an exploration game. There's no health bars, no nothing. You cannot die in this game.
Okay.
It's a puzzle game. It's basically an indie puzzle game where you're supposed to explore everything, and here and there's some puzzles to open up, like, underwater temples to find more exploration. It's an exploration game with small puzzles.
So see, you're a underwater robot looking character.
Yes, you're a diver. I don't
Is
think
it
he's. I think he's a person in a suit.
The image I'm seeing is he's a robot.
I haven't played the game in a
Yeah.
long time. Okay, I just remember I love the exploration of the game.
All right. It could just be bad like image quality too that makes it look like a robot. It just looks like the joints aren't like human. They look like ball bearings.
I don't know, but the game's all right. Like the game itself is decent. Like it's not a super crazy fun game, but the idea of going to that as a vacation spot, because I'm a huge fan of exploring the depths of the ocean. Like whenever we do power picks and stuff, a lot of times I like to pick one that I can breathe underwater and survive the pressures of the ocean depth because I want to see what's down there. And this dude can't die. He literally can do that.
Okay. Is there any place to like rest?
I don't remember, to be honest. Like I said, I played it once, a long time ago. I mostly picked it for the exploration part of it.
Okay. It looks like a very beautiful game.
Yeah, that's the big thing. That's the big draw is exploring the beauty of the ocean depth. That is what the game is about.
Yeah, I could understand that. My only
apparently it came out in 2016. That's why it's been very long.
Okay, my only concern about your vacation is a lack of like actual relaxation. Because one of my biggest criteria for being able to go on vacation is to relax.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be fun.
It does look fun. I'll grant you that.
Nate, if you're interested, I just found out it's apparently on sale for $6.99 on Steam.
I meant fun as a vacation.
I'm just saying to play it if you're interested in the game.
Yeah, I'm not too big into puzzle games, but yeah, it looks like a good vacation pick.
I mean,
I'll grant you that.
It's like Ocean No Man's Sky, basically.
No Man's Sky has combat and you can die.
Well, this is better then, because you can't die.
Takes away any, like, fun.
How's that fun?
Combat, like, it doesn't seem to be any combat. If I'm going on a adventure, I want to have combat.
I'll read you the description that it says right here. Abzu is an underwater exploration adventure. You play as a diver who explores the depths of the ocean. One of your main tasks is to introduce marine animals back to that area that are void of life. The game plays in an unknown alternate world where some of the war and conflict have left the waters of a desolate condition. That is what the description says.
Okay. Again, it sounds like a good vacation.
It's only a 2-hour game. But yeah, it's a fun game. Like I said, I played it very long time ago. I just remember loving the scenery, loving all that. I don't even know if I finished the game, to be honest. I just remember loving the looks of it. And that's what I was thinking. When I think of vacation, when I was thinking of video game worlds, I'm like, that sounds cool to me. I would love to visit the ocean depth. That's why I picked it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So what is your final pick, Nate?
A game that's very dear to our hearts, actually. Both you and I.
Is it Fortnite?
It is!
Oh
Fortnite!
God, Nate.
We're going into pure combat. We can't actually die. We just come back.
Oh, man, I want to go explore the depths of the ocean. Nice, peaceful. Maybe go into space, explore some nice, peaceful planets. Let's go kill everybody! Yeah!
Hell yeah.
Okay.
We get to pick any skin we want. We can be anybody we want.
I love how none of your games are single-player games except for No Man's Sky.
Yeah, because like I said, I wanted something that would go with all of us being able to go in. Like, and No Man's Sky is not a single player game.
Oh, it's not?
Multiplayer. Yeah, you can meet other people exploring that can attack your ships and stuff. All of my games incorporate a group outing.
Okay.
So, with Fortnite, we're going in. It's basically like that laser tag thing that we did. It just...
Cooler.
Never-ending combat.
I get tired. Because if it's me, personally, being me, I'm going to get exhausted.
Nope. Because there is a literal stamina bar that replenishes. All you got to do is stop, like, sprinting at full tilt. You get the power of a looper. And loopers do not get tired.
I guess. Again, this is kind of cheating, but sure.
How is this cheating?
I don't know.
This even goes into your own criteria of a specific video game franchise.
I know.
It just connects to everything.
It's just a cheap answer.
How is it a cheap
because
answer?
It's like saying I want to be everything.
It's not being everything. It is.
You can be anybody you want to be. Literally, they have skins for almost anything.
You get to look like anybody you want to be, but you don't get their powers because the island dampens abilities. So if you become Scarlet Witch, you're not getting reality-bending powers. You're just going to look like Wanda Maximoff.
I mean, doesn't she have her powers in her emote?
All they are is color. She doesn't have the ability to actually alter anything.
Okay, I'll give you that. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
this is literally the ultimate laser tag competition.
I agree. That sounds cool, though.
Yeah, I would love this. Not only does it combine friends because we can do squads, or we could do Team Rumble where we all are on the same team. We can never die. We can use any weapon we want. Our skill is still our own, sadly. We never run out. We can go on a island-wide adventure because there are actual goals in the game that has lore in the game you can explore. You don't have to kill. All you have to do is avoid the storm. And even if you were to die in the storm, you just loop back into the next round.
Nate, just think. You get to really experience me as your partner dealing with the things I do in Fortnite.
I fully expect to get shot in the head by you and Ty at some point in our adventure.
Especially if they bring back those hammers that I can just bounce around the whole map with. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, so how I'm seeing this, we have full access to everything. This is basically we're entering created mode on Fortnite.
Hell yeah.
So you have access to all weaponry and all skins you want.
Nate, you're going to see me troll the fuck out of you. You know that, right?
Yeah. And I'll actually think that's fun because this is going to be a laser tag event, not you and me on a team.
Free for all.
Yeah, it just sounds like a really good vacation time.
All right, I'll give you that one. I'll accept.
And if I want to rest, there are buildings with TVs and computers, so I can access the internet and watch TV.
Hell yeah!
I can just stop fighting
until I throw some like fireflies and just burn that house down.
Probably, yeah, you would. But not if I find a off-place location where you don't find me. I'll dive to the other side
Nate,
of the island.
if it's Fortnite, I have a map. I can see where you're at.
Not if we're on different teams. If it's a free-for-all, you don't see where I am on the minimap.
Yeah, but they have items that I can use to look like sonar. And
they do have that. But if I'm far enough away, you won't find me.
I'll find you. I will make it my life missions to hunt you down, Nate.
I will just place traps all over the location I'm at. So if you get anywhere near me, you will die. So yeah, that is my last pick, Fortnite. It is the ultimate laser tag competition.
Okay, well, I guess that does it for the episode today.
Yep.
What did you think about our vacation podcast? I know you were a little skeptical in the beginning, but what were your thoughts? Did you have fun?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It made me think outside the box for reality because, again, I'm not a vacation guy.
And I'm the opposite. It made me think outside the box for video games.
So having to think where would I actually leave my home to go to is tough. But, yeah, it was a fun little exercise of the mind.
Yeah. And if you listeners enjoyed this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, follow the podcast on there so you get updates every time we upload. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. See you later.